Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time and I'm so sorry. Can you guys see the guilty look in my face? I haven't recorded a video for Thursday because I have made an executive decision to only record once a week. So I'm sorry that I was not able to bring you a video this past Thursday, but I will only be recording videos every Sunday from now on. There's just been a lot of things that's been happening in my life, and I also want to have just a little bit more time to focus in on the exams and to study more. I'm going through the second part of third year, which is I'm gonna have a lot of exams coming up and whatnot, and of course with anything I like to start like with a running start, and then I realized like I'm doing too much and I don't want to feel burnt out or anything, so I just decided to take a step back a little bit. I am very dedicated to Instagram and YouTube. I'm always taking pictures of my outfits. If you guys want outfit ideas or where to buy stuff, hop over onto my Instagram. But I feel like I'm doing like so many things at once, and we all need to kind of step back a little bit and kind of assess, and I would be happier because I would have more time to myself if I was only recording videos on Sundays. So that's my announcement for now. I hope you guys can understand. But today we're going to be doing a video on how to highlight and contour. It's kind of like my way of doing it. I know many people have different ways that they prefer to do it, and there's also many different ways one person can highlight and contour as well. But I'm going to show you some of the products that I use, and kind of like the principles that I follow when I am doing highlighting and contouring. So the first thing that is really important is that you want to have a cream product that you're contouring with, and then the foundation of it is that you're laying down a cream product, and then on top of it is a powder product. So you end up with this really beautiful finished look. It normally looks very smooth, and you can do it as extreme as you'd like. You can, sometimes when I'm contouring my nose, like I go dark if I know I'm going to like some really special event, or I can go a little bit lighter if it's during the day. There's definitely a lot of versatility in this. Investing in a good collection of brushes is something that is versatile, that I think is like one of the most important things for highlighting and contouring, because even if you have products that are really blendable, when you're putting down, you want to be able to have something that you can like blend and buff it out so that everything looks like airbrushed. So these are kind of like the products that I use, and I've had friends ask me questions on if there's like a certain set of products that are cheaper than most, because like makeup adds up. It's really expensive. But for me, I feel like because with Sephora and Ulta, whatever you buy, you can return it. So I would recommend you going and buying something and seeing if you prefer to use that brand, because everyone's skin tone is different. There are certain products that I use, certain bronzers I use that go better with my skin tone, and I know, and it might be a little bit expensive, or there are products that I have bought that's like $10 and it works amazing on my skin, and I've heard no one talk about it. So you just have to kind of take a look around and see what works for you and invest in those products. But first and foremost, I'm gonna go through the ones that I use. So the foundation for highlighting and contouring, some people want to first put foundation on their face first and then go and highlight and contour on top of that, and some people just like to go into highlighting and contouring. And if you didn't know, highlighting is when you're using a lighter color. So you're gonna use the lighter colors on your T-zone area, so your forehead, underneath your eyes, this part of your nose, and this kind of like to brighten up the upper lip area, and also this area down here. Those are the areas where when the light hits, you want it to shine, you want it to bring out more, and that's highlighting. Contouring is the darker part. That's the shadows that you're creating on your cheekbones right here, and then the shadows that you're gonna be putting on your forehead, and the shadows that you're gonna be doing on your jawline to kind of like push those areas back, so your face actually ends up looking more toned and like, I guess, sleek and slim. It's a very, very professional look. And all the makeup gurus are into it. And I have to tell you, the first time I tried to highlight and contour, it was terrible. I mean, I literally just put a dark color down on my face and I was like, I don't know how to buff this out. And I was just, you know, it was just a mess. But I think what you need to learn is just, you know, with anything, with any makeup thing, that you know your face shape the best. And you know that, you know, if someone else does a certain technique, you should, the only way to get really good at it and make it look truly yours and truly natural to your face is to keep practicing. And I can give you as many tips as I have, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you have to play with your own skin and see how it feels and like what suits your face and what doesn't. So the first thing I like to use when I'm highlighting and contouring is this right here. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is just a normal foundation that I use. And sometimes even when I'm not highlighting and contouring, I am using this foundation just like on my face. But this is the foundation I've been falling in love with. It has such a flawless look. It's kind of like it says it's matte, but it's actually like a satiny finish, and I would say it's the closest thing to the Makeup Forever HD foundation, which is one of the best foundations out there. But I just didn't want to spend like $40 on that foundation. So for you girls that want to have a more affordable look, I would recommend trying the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I'm in the shade 310. And then what I normally like to go into, I'm just like kind of talking through the process of what I'm doing before I do this. First, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Cream Kit. I'm sorry, like this thing looks so jaggedy, and I have like the one that was the first one that she released, and I am in the shade medium. So this is what it looks like. And this is the first part of the contouring, which is the cream contouring. I think this sells for about 40 or 50 bucks. You can get it at Sephora, you can get it at Macy's, you can get it at Ulta, and it's complete. If you're just like a dummy at contouring, you don't know what the heck to buy, you don't know what to do, just get this. Like, this is so easy. It has your highlighting shade, it has your like your darker contouring shades, and it even has like a little shade for your cheeks, but it does work really well for me. I love this kit. I've been using it forever. The other options that I have for a cream contouring, if you don't want to buy a whole set like this, for your under eyes and the actual highlighting part, I use the Tarte Tape Shape Concealer in the color Light. Light goes good for my skin, and the thing that I love about this is that it doesn't crease on you, and you can literally just put in like one dot, and then once you buff it in, it's like so potent and like so concentrated that you only need one, and it covers all of your under eye circles and everything. And then if you want a cheaper alternative for contouring, so we're talking about the lighter color and now we're talking about the darker color, I use the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. This is in the shade Beautifully Bronzed. I know a lot of people use this and it complements a lot of skin colors. If I could go back and pick another shade, I would probably go something like a little more ashy brown. This is more like a bronzer, so when you're trying to look for a color that's for contouring, you want to have like an ashier shade, so it looks more like a shadow, like a grayer shade versus a brown shade. And this is one I didn't really know that much about highlighting and contouring, but this blends really well and I really like using this. So either you go and you buy this, which is $50, or you buy these two products. The risk with these two products is that you have to buy them separately. It doesn't come in a set, and you have to pick your own individual colors. But you have both of those options if you need. So that's the cream part. The cream part is done. Now I'm gonna talk about the powders. You're gonna see me doing it, but I like to set my face after I put down the cream, and I like to use the RCMA No Color Powder. Jaclyn Hill has talked about this, Kathleen Lights has talked about this, like everyone and their mother on YouTube has talked about this, and this is amazing. The other one that's really popular is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, which I've also heard everyone use, but I'm a type of girl that I like to buy affordable things, and this was $10, and like I said, I have been using this all last year and it still gives me a lot of product left. I love this. Like, it has no flashback, no nothing, there's no weird crystals inside it, and I use that to set all of the highlighted areas of my face. Now what I use to set the contoured areas of my face, so all around on the outer edges, I like to go in with the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. I don't know, I don't think there's a color choice to this or whatever, but this is a really universal bronzer. I just use it to set like I said, the dark areas. And then if I want something, so this is what it looks like, but if I want something a little bit lighter, I end up using the Butter Bronzer Merle in Light, and this is from the brand Physicians Formula, and I love this brand. It kind of like evens out my skin tone. Like, if I went in with a contour that's too dark, I can just buff over it and the color comes out okay afterwards. It's like a little mistake eraser per se. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my handy dandy cat hair thingamajigger. I got this from Forever 21. I hope you guys like it. This is gonna be a long video, like I already know this. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when I am doing my face is I like to put on a primer, and this primer is the best primer in the world. This is the Nivea Men Sensitive Pulse Shave Balm Primer. I've tried so many other primers. I paid like $30 for a primer, and I don't know what it is, maybe because my skin tone is different or I have a different type of skin or whatever. Nothing stays on my face or nothing preserves my makeup as beautifully as this primer. So maybe you have a difference of opinion, and you know, like, you like to have a certain primer that you like to use, but I love this. So I just get a little like pea-sized area onto my hands. Make sure your hands are clean. And if you guys see me looking like not straight at the camera but behind the camera, it's because I have a mirror behind the camera. So I like to just put this all over my face, and yeah, like, I do smell like a guy when I'm doing this, but well, the smell kind of goes away after a while. So yeah, I like to put this on my face like so, all over. And I did kind of break out last time, so I'm trying to hide that, but I do that. And the next thing I'm gonna do is take the Morphe M439 brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray some Fix Plus on it. I'm then gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Drop that. And I'm just gonna put this a little bit on the palm of my hand. Gonna put it on my hand, like that much. And then I'm just gonna put it on my face. And I kind of go, I try going like area by area, like little by little, but I end up just being too excited. But I stay in like these little buffing motions. I don't really do like a crazy job. When I'm highlighting and contouring, I don't really do a crazy job. Or like a really thorough job with my foundation, because I don't feel like my foundation covers my face that much anyway, so I kind of just use it as like a base to put stuff on. So yeah, if you have any leftover foundation, you can just like take the brush and just like put it on the brush and then buff it in, so you don't like waste your hard-earned money or anything. Okay. Next step in our little how to highlight and contour a cat video. Okay, so this is the part where you can actually use this or you can actually use this. And I think today I'm gonna use this. But just keep in mind that, you know, whenever I'm putting this on my face, that just means that in this contour kit, you're just putting this banana powder color thing on your face. And when I'm using this, that just means that I'm putting these two darker colors on my face. And sometimes when I have sets like this and it ends up getting too dry, what I like to put in this area, I like to put the Inglow Duraline liquid drops on this. So I will put the liquid drops directly in here, and it helps to kind of like smooth this out and like give it a little bit more moisture, so when you put on your face it's not too dry and it's more likely to blend. But the next thing I normally like to do is I'm gonna use this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light, and you guys will see that I literally need like a dot. So I'm gonna go like this, and that's all I need. Then you're gonna take the Real Techniques sponge, and with one end, with the pointy end, I'm just gonna start blending. Like so. And you know, if you watch other tutorials on contouring and highlighting, you're gonna see that people put on so much more product down here on their under eyes. But like I said, the more you do this, the more you realize like what your face shape is like and what it needs. And I just realized that like when I was putting blobs and blobs of stuff on my under eye, I was coming out so, ooh, don't do that. It was I hate when it does that. When it takes like my eyeliner with it. Yeah, like I would put like blobs of product on my face and I realized I didn't need it. And then if anything, it would come out super light and I just like looked so awkward. So all I needed was a little pinch and that was it. I'm gonna do my nose. And then up here, I like to just flip it and do my forehead. This gives like such a beautiful, beautiful look. Like you can already see that my face is getting brighter, you know? And that's the idea. Sometimes if I just like woke up and I feel like I want to look nice, but I don't want to try too hard, I just put on like this concealer in the areas that you're seeing right now. And I feel like it just makes your face like just brighten up. Okay, then next I like, this is the part that is a little crazy. So this color is kind of like too dark for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and contour my face. So I just like squeeze a little bit. And again, I don't think I need that much, so I'm just gonna literally put dots. You wanna put down the contour kind of like, I think about where my ears are, like the top of my ears, connecting like an invisible line connecting to my lips. And then you don't want to go anywhere like more than half that distance. So the same, and then I'm gonna put it on the edges of my forehead. You want to also create a shadow here and a shadow here, and then very, very slightly on the tip of your nose, like so. Now that you actually do look like a feline, I'm gonna take the Morphe E8 brush, it looks like this, and now I'm gonna start blending. And you want to go in little circles. And for me, blending, this part is the hardest. So I just like to kind of like, sometimes I buff it out like this. Like I just pat, pat, pat. Like so. And then once I've like pretty much buffed everything in, then I start to go in circles. This is definitely something you need to practice. It's like so sad. I actually haven't had an occasion to look so fleeky. So this is making me so happy. Like I haven't done this in so long. So pretty much when you have a line like that, you just want to stop. You don't want to aggravate that line any further. So down here you can be a little more, I guess like heavy-handed, or you don't have to be as careful with the buffing. You can just like, you know, just make sure that everything is smooth out. Do the same to the other side. See, now I feel like it's uneven. So I'm gonna put in a little bit more product. Let me buff this up first. Because you can see here versus here. So I'm just gonna put, you know, there's no magic formula to this. You just gotta practice. And I don't know what it is. This side always comes out like perfect, and this side always comes out like eh. Like there are days, you know, like when you put on eyeliner and like this one eyeliner looks really, really nice and the other eyeliner looks like crap and you're like, what the heck? Okay. What do you guys think? I still think one side is darker. Yeah, let me put just a little bit more. And sometimes I like to go on the edge of my brush and just like make a line. I think I'm pretty content with that. Let's try forehead, buff it out. I think it's because I put this down and now it kind of dried up, but we'll go with it. Also know that when you're doing contouring with the cream, like it might not come out perfect, but that's why you have the powder, because the powder just kind of like seals everything in and it fixes stuff that that doesn't necessarily come out good when you first did it, you know? Okay, so for my nose, I'm gonna use, I have two brushes that I normally use for my nose, the Morphe E47, which is like this angled brush, and I also sometimes use this blush by Glamier. It's just like a flat top, smaller brush. So I go in like this. And you know, at times, if I feel like it's not, like the line isn't as sharp enough, I'll just go in with this one and buff out that line to make it look like I have a more, like a sharper nose. And you start pretty much like from your eyebrows. There you go. From here on out, I'm gonna switch to my powder products. So for my under eye and the highlighted parts, I'm gonna bake with the RCMA No Color Powder. I just put on something, I take this side, the same side, and I pick it up with my beauty blender, and I just set my under eyes with it, like so. Baking, what it does is that it keeps your highlighted areas like from coming off of your face, literally. It just makes your cream powder stay all day. So if you're going to an event where you don't need your makeup to last all night, or I don't know, or you're just like casually going somewhere, you don't have to do baking. Like because this process takes like a couple of minutes, like because you need to keep this powder on for a couple of minutes. So this is kind of like a step in setting your makeup, but going a little further, so it'll stay all day. I do like so. I know I look crazy, like absolutely crazy, but you know, the wild animal comes out sometimes when you're baking and contouring. And then the last thing I like to do is like draw a line here so that you keep this contour line sharp. So when we clean this line off, it's gonna look so perfect. You know, there's a lot of leeway, a lot of ways in which you can correct this look if you made a mistake. Like, people think that this is really, really hard, but there's so many things you can do along the way. So this is what I look like. I know it looks crazy. And now that I've already set my highlighted areas, I'm gonna now take the bronzer and set the the dark areas or the contoured areas. I'm going in with the same brush from Morphe E8. I mean, you can do different brushes. Like, I also love this brush. This is more of like an angled brush. It's Morphe M438, and I just like pick it up and I just set it, like, just kind of use it to create like a sharp line from where we were contouring, like so. So now it's even sharper than before. And then I'm gonna switch brushes, the Morphe E8 that I had before, and just use that to, because this is a powder, so I'm gonna use it to set what I had with the cream before. And go back to this brush to make that sharper line. Like, I love this brush because it's able to give me that sharp line, you know? And it blends things so nicely. We're gonna do a little bit on the nose. So after you're done doing all that and setting your face, so in every area that you've put cream down, you're gonna set it with powder. So if it's a light cream, you're gonna set it with a light powder, and if it's a dark cream, you're gonna set it with a dark powder, okay? So that's pretty much a general rule. I'm gonna buff out, take off all the excess powder on my face. And I realize that I still need to conceal my little pimple over here. Dang it. Now that I'm done doing all this, I'm gonna spray my face with Fix Plus so it like kind of like just blends everything in. Loud. Then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just kind of like blend out those edges right here. And I'm also just kind of like pressing in, you know, all those products that we used, so they kind of live happily ever after with each other. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. Sometimes when I'm done, I like to go in and like darken, like, you know, like do finishing touches. So I feel like my nose needs to be darkened a little bit more. So I'm gonna take the last step that I did, which was the bronzing powder. So I'm just gonna bronze my nose up a little bit. And I interchange between these two brushes because when one makes too sharp of a line, you know, I like to buff it out with the other one, and then vice versa. So you see how that nose is like so contoured. Okay. Next thing I like to do is I like to put on blush. So this is, we're nearing towards the end. I'm gonna use the Milani Luminoso Baked Powder Blush. This is what it looks like. And I'm gonna take it on to this Luxie large angled brush right here. And just tap that. It's almost like I'm blending the blush with the bronzer and the contour. Okay, and then next is my favorite part ever. This is my highlighting part. I'm gonna use the Anastasia A23 brush with the Anastasia Glow Kit. Now I'm gonna take the color Dripping in Gold and Bubbly, and I'm just gonna use that to highlight top of the cheekbones. Lord, that is so pretty. And top of my nose, Cupid's bow. And now I like to take a smaller brush. I'm just gonna take this Morphe E25 double sided brush and take the color Sunburst, which is up here. Before I use these two down here. And I'm just gonna highlight underneath the brow bone, like so. More on Cupid's bow area. And it never hurts to lay down a lighter highlight color on top of your already highlighted cheeks. And I like to do a little bit up here. Right? Like, can I even have more highlight? Never. I'm now gonna put on the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick in Trophy Wife. Okay, here we are. This is the final look. Let me just like let out my hair. I hope you guys like this look. This is perfect for the holidays and all the things that's coming up, whatever you're celebrating, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you have any tips of your own, and or some of the products that you guys use to highlight and contouring. And please subscribe if you guys haven't already, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!